Okay, today we are going to be getting rid of a whole bunch of stuff in the basement, and we're also outside because we're going to be getting rid of a bunch of stuff that's been sitting here for how long?
Months.
Months and months.
Yeah.
Since we remodeled our house, we pretty much remodeled the entire thing, and we just have a bunch of junk left from it. It's in the garage too, right?
Yeah, I'm going to try to clean that out a lot today also.
Yeah, so we're going to tackle the garage and then hopefully the basement. What percentage of our belongings do you think are still in the basement from the other house? A lot.
75, 80%.
Yeah, so we have most of our stuff still packed away in the basement we haven't even touched, so we figured now is a good time to just get rid of it in our becoming minimalist journey. So, do any of y'all have those spaces in your home, or maybe like in our case outside of your home, that you've just been putting off and you know it's an eyesore and you know better, but for whatever reason you're busy with work or life and you just don't get to it? Well, I want to encourage you to try to knock it out, because it's going to be such a weight lifted off your shoulders just getting it done, because we think about what we need to do all the time and it weighs us down. But if we can just get rid of the stuff, just get the project done, we're going to feel so much lighter. We have a lot of construction just remains, junk, trash, whatever you want to call it. We have a lot of stuff from the construction that we did on our home. We aren't totally finished with everything. We have trim and all that kind of fun stuff left to do in the house, but for the most part, we can get rid of all of this, the remnants that remain, the empty paint containers, the old carpet, the drywall that we pulled down that's in pieces, the old cabinets. Yeah, so this stuff was ready to go and we just needed to get our act together and, get rid of it. So that's what we did. It feels so much better looking over here now. Alright, we just finished on the side of the house, and I think now we're going to head to the basement. It's scary down there, so I'm going to show you what it looks like right now, but we've actually gotten rid of a ton of stuff down there already. It still looks really bad, so I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay, so here we go, taking a look at our terrifying and embarrassing basement. This is where we put all of our belongings from our old house until we finish renovations upstairs. Okay, so this is what we're working with right now. Believe it or not, we've already taken a bunch and gotten rid of it. How much did we get rid of? How many bags?
I don't know. I think we've gotten rid of about 10 big bags like this already.
2 of these before. We freed up this space a little bit. So it's a lot of the construction stuff we were talking about up there, but we still need to either get rid of or keep or whatever. So this is phase one. This is just phase one of decluttering the basement here and the garage. We're going to get to that soon. But like I said, this should be called phase two, because we already had a go at this and we got rid of around probably 8-10 or so large black trash bags worth of stuff. And a lot of the stuff is just construction remains. So that, there's no excuse for that. That doesn't take any hard decision making in getting rid of that sort of stuff, like just, broken, falling apart, old pieces from the house. Like, that doesn't take any thought. That just needs to go. The remodeling process took us a long time. We were kind of slow at it, but we were figuring it all out on our own. And during that time, during that year or so, like I said, we're still not totally finished, but the majority is done. During that time, we lived without like 90% of our stuff that had come over from our other house. And our other house was 3,300 square feet. And this house is just 1,000 square feet. We never had a ton of stuff in our other house, but it looks like a ton of stuff in this house, that's for sure. We actually do need to still get some more furniture for this house because, when Doug and I got married, we never really furnished our home. And now I'm kind of thankful for that, because now we can, in a way, start fresh. We have a few pieces. We have mixed matched furniture, which sometimes does bother me, but at least we can kind of start fresh a little bit at a time as finances allow. And it's hard because you want to just have everything all at once. You want your home to be just how you want it all at once, if you're anything like us. And I just have to remain thankful because we don't have a ton of furnishings that we need to figure out what to do with. We have a few mixed match pieces, and then we can start fresh. And now that we're on this minimal journey, we can kind of pick and choose with intention, and that's the most important thing. Purchasing with intention now. A lot of the stuff that we do have, the furniture, the whatever, our belongings, a lot of it was just cheap stuff we found on sale, stuff we got at a yard sale, whatever. It was cheap stuff. And not that there's anything wrong with finding a deal, but I think you probably have made similar purchases. Let me know if you can relate, where you're like, oh, this is such a good price, I'm going to go ahead and buy it. I mean, I do that with clothes all the time. Like, I'm going to go ahead and get this. Wow, this is such a good price. But then you don't really like it. Maybe you think you kind of do at first, but you don't really like it. And that's because we didn't purchase it with intention. And so that's a struggle. That's something we're trying to break out of. And just, even if it's going to cost more, really think about it. Make sure it's something we really truly like before we bring that into our home. And maybe it is going to be more expensive, but we don't need as many things. And if you just buy things on sale, you end up with a lot more than you actually need. I've held on to a lot of different cards and letters and things over the years, just that were sentimental to me. But I'm kind of learning that we have our memories, and it's special to have those memories. But you don't need to keep physical items all the time to keep the memories inside. You know what I mean? And this is something that my husband and I went through the audiobook of this book called Goodbye Things. And this helped us recently to really jumpstart us back into this whole minimalism process, because we've started and stopped many times just because you lose momentum and you get busy, or you have a baby. He talks about in that book that you've got the memories, or if you really, do want to see something again, you can also take a picture of it and store it that way, like on the cloud. You just have to do what's right with you. And if a physical copy of a card or a note that someone wrote to you does have a lot of meaning and impact, and it's something you want to be able to hold and touch and feel, then definitely keep it, for sure. And I'm keeping some of those things. But then there's a lot of things I just saw that I had held on to that really didn't have that much meaning to me anymore, or I was at a different place in my life. Some things might be nice, but they might have a negative feeling attached to it, depending on maybe what you were going through in your life at that time. If it has negative attached to it, even if the item itself is nice and you like it, if it brings back memories that are negative, then I don't think that has a place in our homes either. Because another thing he talks about in Goodbye Things is that everything is speaking to us. All of our belongings are speaking to us. They're telling us to take care of them. They're telling us wash me. They're telling us dust me. They're saying remember me. And they've got those memories, those feelings, those voices attached to them, in other words. That's just going to bring you down. If you're in a place where you're feeling discouraged, I would suggest taking a look around at your environment and seeing what things might be contributing to it. Just letting go of some of the items that I thought I needed to hold on to, but actually had negative feelings attached to them, felt so good. Yay. Okay. Just kept a couple of things down at the bottom. Got through all my sentimental stuff, put the stuff here that I'm keeping for now, and yeah, making progress slowly but surely. Here is the progress we've made. Doug has made a lot of good progress over there in that corner. It is looking a lot better than it was. He's really made a dent in the clutter, and I felt like I was working super slow going through the sentimental stuff. I was just like, ugh, I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. But I did find myself, and I want to share this with you because maybe it'll be helpful. I found myself going through and thinking, maybe I do want to hold on to this. Okay, I can see why I kept this the first go around. And then I caught myself, and I remembered what he talked about in Goodbye Things book. And I was like, wait a second. No, I don't need this stuff. Like, if I'm not going to bring it upstairs into my home to use now or display now, or I'm not going to put it into a keepsake box to keep long term, if it's not that important to me, then why am I keeping it? And I think I've heard people talk about if it's a maybe, then just go ahead and let it go. That's something to consider. This is going to be a long process for us, I have a feeling. I mean, hopefully we'll continue to work on it as weekends come and evenings come and whenever we feel like we have the energy to do it. it's definitely not a one and done process. The video is not like, look how bad it is and then look how perfect it is at the end, unfortunately. I wish it were. I wish I could snap my fingers and have it done like yesterday, but it's not. So maybe this can encourage you if you've got that spot or you've got that basement that feels kind of like this. Just chip away at it a little at a time and you're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're all gonna get there.
Let's go to the garage. Dun 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 dun. Wah, wah, wah. Kind of scary in here. It's a lot scary in here.
Well, Doug was sweet enough to take over the camera here and show you all the garage, and I'm glad he did. I was busy with the baby at the moment, but I'm glad he showed you what was going on in the garage and kind of gave you a before so you could see what we accomplished in this afternoon. And we were on a time crunch. We don't have a truck ourselves, so we were borrowing this truck from a friend. And then, of course, it's the weekend, so the dumps, they have limited hours, at least where we are. And so we were on a time crunch, which kind of works because it makes you work really fast. But we could only get so much done. I think we only ended up, what did we get, 2 loads done? I don't think we got a 3rd load. I think it was just 2 loads done, which we're so grateful for, having the truck for that and being able to get that in the time we had. Honestly, yes, we have so much more to go, but we really tried to be smart about what we loaded into the truck and what we really needed to take to the dumps, and then what stuff we could handle ourselves in smaller increments on trash day. And I'm talking about trash here. Obviously, anything that's worth donating, we're donating. So honestly, I say we, but Doug did the heavy lifting, quite literally, in this video, in this whole afternoon. Like, he really worked so hard, and I was with the baby kind of feeling like I wasn't lifting my weight. But yeah, he was amazing. He did so much, and I helped with some things, but I mainly was there to just say, yeah, that can go, help make decisions and that sort of thing. And then while the baby was napping, then I helped as well. But he definitely deserves all the credit for what we accomplished with these dumps trips. But like I said, we actually, in the 2 trips that we had, we got the majority of the stuff gone that really needed the dumps. And so now we're left with a more manageable load that, like I said, we can do in increments, we can do in smaller phases on trash day, or we also have a lot of stuff to donate that we can take in our own car as we make trips into town and stuff. Even though it might not visually look like a ton of stuff got moved out, it was the stuff that really mattered, the big stuff, which then opened up the space a bit to get to the smaller stuff, to get to the things that we can now handle even without the truck. So that makes it a lot easier, because now in the evenings, on the weekends, we can a lot easier just, hey, let's work on this decluttering, let's work on this downsizing, let's head to the basement, let's head to the garage, let's just get a little bit done, and we're not on that time constraint of the dumps or borrowing a friend's truck. My husband just left with the first truckload, and we're wondering, we only have until about 2 at the latest, because that's when the dumps closes. What is that? I think it's a lawnmower. She gets so excited whenever cars pass by. She just jumps for joy. So, yeah, let me show you. Hopefully, Doug said he took a kind of before of the garage. So, let me show you what it's looking like right now. So, from front view, this is what it looks like. We have a lot of appliances that we need to sell or get rid of. That is an oven. We've got a stove top under there. We've got a washer and dryer over here. And wait, where? Oh yeah, and we have a washer and dryer over here, like a newer one. So we have a lot of stuff to sell. So maybe once we clear out all of these boxes and trash, we'll have space to get back and actually, take the stuff out to sell. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to see any progress or not, but we definitely filled up a truckload, so that's promising. Alright, I'm going to come down to the basement and we'll take a look here. I know we're kind of jumping back and forth between a lot of things in this video. Yeah, I wasn't actually thinking of filming this at first, but then I thought, why not document it? Because this is part of becoming minimalist. This is part of downsizing and getting rid of our stuff. And we have so much stuff in these places that we're showing you today. Like, this is where the majority of our stuff is. Like Doug said earlier, this is probably, what did he say, 80% of our stuff is especially down here in the basement. Alright, so this is just kind of an overview of how it's looking now in case you can see any changes. I don't know if you can. I kind of pulled some of this stuff down, so it's probably not super noticeable because it kind of looks trashier now, but I'm going through a lot of sentimental stuff. I'm going through, so previously we had decluttered already once before, and I downsized my belongings for the most part of what I had down here. Well, not everything, but like, I don't know, the main stuff, into these green containers, and then I think a couple of these boxes here. But so yeah, I feel like my stuff's taking me forever. I went through it once and I was like, oh, this is so hard. As soon as I started going through, I was like, this is really hard because maybe I do want to hold on to some of this stuff, especially the sentimental stuff. But then I thought, you know what? No, I'm thinking about this stuff too hard. If I don't have a use for it now, get rid of it. I have the memories for some of the sentimental stuff that I don't really need to hold on to, and then I did hold on to stuff that was more meaningful. So anyways, here Doug has made a lot of progress with the construction work. I feel like, anyways. I think this space is looking a lot clearer. And then, let's head on back over here now. I think he took some stuff over here by the door, by the stairs. I don't think I really showed it before of that though. And then this is the place over here that he was working on last down here, which is a huge improvement to this corner right here. Especially the floor is actually clean. I'm not sure if he cleaned that today or what, but oh, it was a mess over here. As soon as he gets back from the dumps, we're going to just try to load up that truck again, try to make the most of it. I don't know if we're going to get one more dumps run in or two, but if we're lucky, maybe two. I don't know. Probably just one more because it's already almost noon. So Doug was back from the first trip to the dumps and he was going to load up a second trip. And he was working really fast at this point because we were kind of on a time crunch. So yeah, we only were able to get 2 trips in, but we are grateful for that. I really hope that this video isn't just totally boring. I hope you do get some inspiration from it because I kind of questioned whether I should include this on my channel, but it is part of our decluttering journey. Honestly, it's a huge part because this is where the majority of our belongings, probably 80%, are in the basement, and then also some in the garage as well. And we have a lot of things we need to sell too, like washer and dryer, old stove, old oven that we took out of this house, and also a set from the old house because we ended up having to get a new washer and dryer. Anyways, long story short, we have appliances and things we need to either give away, sell, or something. The majority of our belongings, or not just our belongings, but clutter and things we need to get rid of, are in these places. So this is definitely a huge part of our decluttering journey, of our becoming minimalist. Because upstairs, you've seen the kitchen so far, you've seen the laundry room, you've seen the bathroom, you've seen me do my closet, and there's more to come inside of the house. But these 2 places, this is where the stuff is hidden away. This is where all of our belongings came from our old house and just kind of stayed. Because we, we're remodeling and we just haven't brought it into the rest of the house, which kind of makes it, I guess, easier to get rid of now because we've seen we've lived without it. We've seen we don't really need it. And it's easier to part with it when you don't have that attachment to it. And the way I was trying to think about it when I was working in the basement was, if I'm not going to bring this upstairs in our home right now and use it or display it, then I don't probably need it. So definitely let me know in the comments if you have a preference on what you would like to see next on the channel. Would you like to see more decluttering inside? Would you like to see more of this, just chipping away at the basement and garage? Or would you like to see me just pick back up where I left off of inside of the house? Okay, so Doug is just leaving for our final trip, and I'm going to show you kind of where things stand. This is the basement. I don't know if you can tell a whole lot has changed. I hope you can tell something has changed. There is more space, just hard to tell. Like I said, this is phase one. It's going to take some time, unfortunately. Let me know if you can relate. I hope this video brought you some motivation. Let me know if you want to see phase 2 of the garage and basement, or if I should just never show this again because, it wasn't a big enough transformation. I want to hear both opinions, doesn't matter. My feelings won't be hurt because I want to make videos that you actually enjoy. So let me know. But this is how the garage looks. Also a bit more floor space. We can get to those items that we need to sell. I really hope you did get some inspiration from it. If not from the footage, hopefully I could inspire you to get up and clean an area of your house. If not, I'll have a new video coming out very soon, and I'm so grateful for you. I hope I'll see you in the next one. And until then, take care.